King Willem III was the fifth king of the Netherlands, including the French Kingdom of Holland. He was an indirect descendant of Willem the Silent, the founding father of the Netherlands. King Willem III was never expecting to be king, because he had an older brother, but his older brother died, leaving him with the heir to the throne. At first he was not happy about this, and the moment his son turned 18, he thought about abdicating. But he was too scared of the big decision, so he never did it. King Willem III was a bizarre man. He was known to have anger issues, and often had raging outbursts, which earned him the nickname King Gorilla. His cabinet was very afraid of him. He would also often be found walking around his palace wearing only a jacket and nothing else. This is just the beginning of a long list of abnormalities, but despite, or perhaps because of all this, he was beloved by his people. But everyone around him agreed that he was, at least to some degree, clinically insane. His funeral was no less bizarre than his life. When the king died on the 23rd November in 1890, the funeral was to be held at the 5th of December, but his wife and Regentess of the Netherlands ordered last minute the funeral to be held at the 4th of December, so that it would not interfere with the national holiday that is the 5th of December in the Netherlands. The funeral was off to a good start when the wagon that was supposed to carry the coffin broke when the king's coffin was placed on it, because it was too heavy. Since the king had been so fat, the coffin was unable to be carried, so it was decided that they would just drag it along the street. This made an irritating sound and damaged the coffin a lot. It was also clear soon that there were not enough carriages to carry the royal guests, so many monarchs and heads of state had to be crammed together in small carriages. For example, Tsar Nicholas of Russia was crammed together in the same carriage as his arch nemesis, Archduke Friedrich of Austria-Hungary, who hated each other so much that it was one of the reasons for the First World War. The Tsar was outraged that he had to be in the same carriage. When the parade could finally begin, many horses refused to walk, resulting into a chaotic parade. One carriage broke down during the parade, releasing two horses, who ran away. Whilst the horses ran away into a tribune, the tribune collapsed, leading in many wounded. While all this chaos was all going on outside, on the street, the preacher and an old man of over 90, who had no idea what was going on, started the ceremony, with not even half the guests having arrived. The organ player, who was also an aged man, didn't get his organ to work properly, resulting into him throwing a fit, which led to a chaotic organ play. All this chaos shocked the then Princess Wilhelmina so much that at just 10 years old she decided to begin planning her own funeral, which would be 70 years away, so that it would go smoothly.